Hi, you're listening to Book Chat with author Vivian E. Moore.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Hello and welcome to Book Chat. I am your host, author Vivian E. Moore. I hope everyone had a lovely holiday. I know that, we had to do things a little bit differently this year due to COVID, but still, I had a very, very nice Thanksgiving. Spent it with my children and my grandchildren. That's our bubble. And I hope everyone else, I know that maybe, you had a few extra seats at the table where, family couldn't come over, but I hope you make the best of it, in the best way that you could and still enjoy the holiday because, it's one of those holidays where we look forward to getting together with our family members and just sharing things that we're thankful for. And, we all have many things to be thankful for. So I'm thankful for you. Thankful that you joined in today to listen to the show. So I won't hold you for much longer. So we're going to get straight to today's show. So the title of today's show is Sharing is Caring. And the topic is Artist Appreciation. Since this is the season of thankfulness and giving. And so while you're in a charitable spirit, remember all the starving artists, and I'm figuratively speaking, who rely on others' generosity for making a living. After all, sharing means you care about your neighbors, your friends, and the longevity of creation, or creativity, I should say. It is the kindness of strangers that artists of every creed reach out to for donations. And now I'm not speaking of monetary donations, okay, but the likes and the shares through social media. These types of gifts they're more valuable than gold in some cases. It's how, we show our love when we like and share. And it also shows appreciation, which in turn contributes further to the worthwhile cause of creativity. Every like and share earns artists more recognition and perhaps a few more sales that help boost livelihoods. And we all could use that. We have so many people due to this pandemic, have been furloughed or they've lost their jobs due to, the businesses and generally small businesses like, bookstores and things like that are still open or that are considered small businesses. They had to close and they had to lay off their people that worked there. So that meant that all of those books that, maybe they weren't, available online, just in bookstores. So that, that sort of devastates artists, when they can't make any money. And I'm not just talking about, writers and authors in general. I'm talking about all artists, no matter what you do. You may be a writer. I mean, you may be a singer, you may be a dancer, some type of performer, whatever your gift is. I'm talking about all artists across the board. And most artists do have social media accounts, and because it's how they advertise, what they do. I see it all the time on social media where, the artists have their own groups. And so, but they go outside of those groups to individuals, where they can share their wares, they show their paintings and things of that nature, and they sort of depend on the people who look at their work to even if they don't like it, to share it. Because for me, that's not, it's not a big deal, but it's not a little thing either, because it means a lot. It really does. And I mean, it's so simple. If you like what you see, speak on it. If you don't, well, that's okay too. But there are other ways to express appreciation without giving a thumbs up or down. Honest opinions are essential but often withheld for reasons that are beyond me. It costs nothing to share a thought, whether you're impressed or not so much. Often negativity, it can lead to a positive outcome. How, you might ask? Well, curiosity, of course. And ignore what you heard about curiosity killing cats. Cats are hard to kill with their 9 lives and all, but people are just like felines, and they will follow a thread to see where it leads. In most cases, it can change the narrative. Besides that, they want to know for themselves why someone received a bad rating and share their 2 cents before clicking share for the entire social media universe to see a new review. And I mean, they want to see whether they shared a bad review or shared a good review. It's just human nature to be curious. And if you're fortunate and more positivity generally follows. And that's always good, because positive influence is mental as well as emotional. And all that means is that you've given critical thought about how your comments impact posts and the impact the posts have on you. It's just that simple, folks. You share and like and share. Follow, which we'll save that for another show. But I mean, it's to me, it's just, it shouldn't be a big deal to like something and share it. I made the decision Thanksgiving Day. I said, today is Thanksgiving. So this is what I'm going to do. For every post that people make, I'm going to like it and I'm going to share it, because that's something that we all need to do. I mean, it may not even be something that you're interested in, so you don't have to like it, because they have other emojis where you can click on, the one that the caring, emoji, or if you didn't like it, you can do that as well with the sad face, but or if you think it's funny or whatever. But the main thing is, even if you don't like it, share the post. Maybe someone else may like it. They may want to see it, and I think sometimes people are so stingy with their likes and their sharing. And I don't understand that proves, that the facts don't lie. And it reveals that when you like and share, it shows empathy. And when you don't do it, it shows a lack of empathy. And God knows we can use more of that empathy, that is. And not only that, but it builds relationships and camaraderie among fellow artists and followers. I've seen so many posts this year, and not all of them, were political. I liked, shared, and felt, did the heart emoji and things like that on those political posts that I agreed with. And the ones that I didn't agree with, of course, I still shared my opinion. I shared it in a like or whatever, but I shared it. I shared it. I passed it on to the next person, so they could see it and share their views on it too. And, I'm making it out of such a big deal because that's what social media is for. Is for, liking what you see or not liking what you see and sharing. And, some people will skip a post. And it sometimes it's people that they will skip a post just for the heck of it, just because, they're not feeling you that day for whatever reason. Excuse me. And will skip over your post and go to another one, and I'm like, that is so not cool to do that, because you see the consistency in what they, in what they do and how they think, and it's just, it just blows my mind sometimes when I see that. It really does. But it's so important, to give that love, to show that love, to those artists that are out there, because I mean, it's important to us. I'm an artist as well, and I have other mediums, of advertising my work. But for a lot of folks, they use social media, especially Facebook, because people of a certain generation of age, certain age group are still on Facebook. I know the younger generation are moving to Twitter. They're moving to Instagram and TikTok and things like that, because it was designed, with young people in mind. But for, certain generations, I would say those over 30 and older, they typically go to Facebook. And that's where they get, all of their information is from Facebook. But and I think that now that Twitter has sort of caught on that, you have to have more than a certain characters to express yourself. Because with Facebook, you could write a book if you wanted to and post it. They don't limit the amount of words you can use, but Twitter did that, and I don't know if they still do that, but they put a limit on the amount of characters that you could use to send out posts. So that was another reason why people sort of flocked to Facebook. They like Twitter, to tweet and say little, make little statements or whatever. But still, it's there, and it's a modem of it's a modem to how people relate to each other and how they get the word out. It's a mode of advertisement and things of that nature. That didn't come to my head, didn't come to my mind right off, but it finally came to me, so I shared that. But still, we should do that. We should like and share. Even if you don't like, you can still post whatever, if you don't like it or whatever, you can do that and still share it, because chances are the next person may like it. Even if you didn't like it, the next person may like it. So, and it means a lot to the creative community when you do that, especially if they're using social media as a means to advertise. That's important to them. It's important to me. I have a podcast where I could advertise and do things of that nature, but that's not why I'm here. That is not the purpose of this show. The purpose of this show is to talk about things like this, topics and issues that that I find concerning, or that that I find interesting, or should be, informative. So that's why I do it. Pardon me, 1 second. Thank you. I'm still having issues with my sinuses and things of that nature. So it tries to steal my voice while I'm talking, and I don't want that to happen today. But, but just give a little thought and consideration, the next time you see a post or an artist is sharing something, maybe it's a new book that they have out. You can like it and share it, and that's the importance. That's why they're putting it out there on social media, so you can like it and share it with the next person. And not only that, but it narrows the gap between division and it diversifies. The world might seem vastly separated by space and opportunity, but one simple like and share shows how small it really is. And you talk about positive influences. Now that is a positive influence. So before you bypass the post, remember, a like and share could be the deciding factor of life or death for artist appreciation. All right, folks, that's all I have for you today. So I'm not going to hold you too much longer, and I'm going to go ahead and do this before my voice decides it wants to stop working. So let's get straight to these URLs. Of course, the first one is to Spreaker, and that is at https://www.spreaker.com/user/author Vivian Moore. You can follow me, like me, on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Facebook, it is author Vivian E. Moore. Twitter, it's God's Property 46. Instagram, it's God's Property 51. And if you follow my blog, that is at https://vivianemore.blogspot.com. You can also visit my website, and that is at https://www.authorehshepard.com or authorvivianemore.com. And if you missed today's live show, don't fret, because it's recorded. That means you can listen to it on other platforms, and of course Spreaker is one of them, but there is also Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, YouTube, SoundCloud, JioSaven, and iTunes. So those are all the places where you can listen to the show. You can listen to it live on Spreaker, or you can listen to the recorded episodes on all of those other platforms. And tomorrow is Worship Day. And again, we have so much to be thankful for. I know that these are trying times, but I believe that things are going to get better. So I have to trust and believe in that. And so, and I need that word to keep me grounded. to keep me anchored. So whenever I think that, things are only going to get worse, I get that word of positivity, and it lets me know that things will get better. And tell your family, tell your friends, and your neighbors, to tune in to those Sunday worship services. A lot of churches are starting to gather again, but we still haven't, because, COVID is running rampant in our city. And I don't know about yours, but, that sort of limits the amount of people that should be gathering together, especially in churches, because that, that amounts to a lot of bodies. And of course, it could mean the transmission of COVID, and we don't want to do that. And also tell someone that you love them, because tomorrow is not promised. Today may be the only chance you get to say that. So I love you. I hope you love me back. Until the next time you hear my voice, God bless you, and goodbye.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.